Don't be the bruised bananas. Get your pricing right, because selling sooner means selling for more. Let's go. My name is Paulie Campanaro, Vision Realty Group, and I've been selling real estate for almost 20 years. I've sold hundreds of homes, living through and selling properties in the Las Vegas market 2008 through 2012 and the housing crisis, now in Austin, Texas, and I've never seen a market like this one. It's up, it's down, it's all around. Should I buy? Should I sell? I'm gonna have some answers for you, whether you're a buyer or a seller, on where the market's at and where it's going. Let's jump in. Okay, so we're looking at Austin Board of Realtor data, and this is aggregated from up north as far as Killeen, down to as far south as San Marcos, Elgin, to the Hill Country, Lago Vista, and beyond. And so this is a big swath of land here we're covering. You can see all the greens here on how much land we're actually covering in Central Texas. And so let's just get right to it. The first piece of data I want to look at is the most amount of homes moving are in the $300,000 to $400,000 range. You can see here median $400,000. Number of sales for February, 2,270. That's down 0.5% from the previous year. And then you can see the number of homes going down and down and down from there. So $200,000 to $400,000 is where a majority of the homes are sold. But there's still quite a bit of activity here. And we're going to look at what days on market means, especially for you luxury people. I want to come back and take a look at what's really going on, because there's some misconceptions when in the luxury crowd as far as putting your property on the market and what to expect. All right, so let's keep going. I'll get there on what's been happening with pricing. Now you can see the green line is 2024, the orange line is 2025, the black line is 2026, and obviously you see a trend here where 24 sits above the rest, 25 is just kind of hanging down below 24. We see a peak in April and May for both those years, and then a dip in the fall months. And look, what I don't like is this trend right here. 2022, 490,000 was the median price point, and then 23, 440,000, 24, 430,000, 25, 422,000, 26, 402. And so, man, a downward trend in median prices the last 4 years. And I'm gonna tell you where I think we're going in just a second here, but hang in there, because, man, is it a good time to buy right now? Well, wow, with us skimming across the bottom here, because we had this big drop here from 22, right? From 22 to 23, and then we've just been kind of just scraping across the bottom. But before we get to that, let's look at what buyer demand is actually doing right now. So the average days, median days on market, 71, we mentioned that, right? Versus average, so just for the median average discrepancy, averages, add them all up and divide by the number. Median is if you laid them all out in a row, where's the middle? And the median is the more accurate assessment of data. So 71 days is up 8 days from the previous year. So buyer demand, what are buyers doing in regards to making offers? Now, look, here's what we know as a listing agent, a professional who lists a lot of homes every year, is that buyers are going slower. When we're going in for feedback, the feedback is they're looking at their options. They're thinking about it. Even for properties that are priced right, they have more features and benefits and they're priced aggressively, or maybe they don't have as many features and benefits and they're priced aggressively. Those are the only two types of properties selling, by the way. Buyers are still taking their time. Now, if a property is in outer space with upgrades and updates and it's priced aggressively, that property can sell quickly and there can be multiple offers. I just lost out on a property with a buyer in Wells Branch just recently. It was the $350,000 price range. It was in pretty good condition, but the price was priced excellent. And there we go. There was multiple offers. We lost out. And so make sure that you're having consultation and you're taking a look at inside market information to understand, as a seller or a buyer, how to use price in the market to create the market, create demand around the market, because it shouldn't take you 3, 4, 5, 6 months to sell a property. We're seeing it right here, 71 days. And that's actually a miscue. That's not exactly what's going on. I'm going to get into that in price drops in a second, because some properties start overpriced. And so what's that mean to when they get in the right price zone. But on the median as a whole, 71 days on market, even for the people who get the price wrong initially. So this shouldn't take a long time. Even look at these for properties priced over $1.4 million, 43 days on market. I bet you wouldn't have guessed that. and for 1 million to 1.9. 77 days on market, not outer space. Even agents within the industry, I think there's a misconception that it can take a long time for $1 million property to sell. Not true. If it's priced right, it will move. There is demand, that's what we're talking about here, buyer demand out there for properties that are priced right. Okay, buyer demand on the market, you see this is a days on market graph, median to average, and we can see from June 23 to February 26. And so we see peaks in December, January, February for days on market, 24 December, January, February. Days on market peak in the winter, and obviously they fall in the summer, April, May, June, 15 days, look at that, in 25. 15 days, median days on market, okay? That was last summer, okay? So properties are moving. Okay, so let's take a look at inventory overall as of today. Now this is, we're looking at February numbers because February numbers come out in March, but as of right now, 13,740 homes on the market. That's a 6-month supply, meaning if no other homes came on the market, how long would it take to sell those 13,000 homes? 6 months, okay? And there's new homes coming on the market all the time. And oh, by the way, if you're a seller, look, there's around 25% of the market is failing to sell every month, meaning they're taking their property off the market because they say uncle, they give up, and they pull their home from the market, or the contract expires, meaning they had a contract to list their home for 3 months or 6 months or whatever it was, and the property failed to sell. Approximately 25% of the market comes off of the properties for sale come off the market every month. So look, there's competition out there, and those properties that aren't selling, look, time's your enemy. The longer you're on the market, the worse off it is. And the problem is the agents. The agents are the problem, where they don't understand the data, and so they don't give you what you need to make an informed decision, or worse, the agents don't want to tell you the truth about the data because they're afraid to lose your business because they don't have much business. And so look, the real issue here is time is your enemy as a seller, and like the agents are just not fessing up to what's really going on, because if they were able to explain to you more efficiently and effectively what's really going on with the market data, then you'd make an informed decision so you could win, versus being on the market a long period of time, which is never a win. It's a lose for you to be on the market a long period of time. Think about it. You were looking for your last property for sale, and when you saw a home on the market a long period of time, what was the first thought that came into your head? That's right, what's wrong with the property, right? And that's the last thing you want, is to be bruised bananas on the shelf. Nobody buys bruised bananas, right? They want the fresh bananas, the green bananas. They're going to take a few days that they can take home, and that's exactly what the types of properties people want to buy. They want to buy the properties that are ready to go and that are sitting there ready for the taking, and are not sitting there spoiled and have sat there a long time with fruit flies flying all around them. Don't be the bruised bananas. Get your pricing right, because selling sooner means selling for more. Okay, so I'm going to come back to some of that in a second here. So 13,740 properties on the market, 2,600 pending, 1,900 active under contract. The difference between that is just active under contract, still they're waiting to do their home inspection. Pending is they're past the option period now, and they just have financing to close the deal. And so once you get past that option where you get your home inspection done, then you just have a few contingencies in the way to be able to close. So pending is just further along in the process. 738 homes went on hold. And days on market as of today for those properties that are on the market, 58 days. Okay, so there was 4,575 new listings in February. That's up almost 2%. And new under contract was 3,023. Okay, so we can see here that a month's supply of properties based off of price point. I think this is pretty interesting, right? Now we said 200,000 to 400,000 was where most of the properties sold, and so we can see approximately a 5-month supply of homes. So there's a little less supply of those homes on the market. They're more affordable, right? So when you see a property priced right, like we did in our property for my buyer in Wells Branch, and it's priced aggressively, it was by a park, it was in a cul-de-sac, it had a nice big yard. you better pay attention to what's going on with the data. Maybe your realtor should be having a conversation with the other agent to find out what's going on, and vice versa on the sell side too, right? Like what do you know about the competition? What's going on more recently on properties that are pending and sold, and what's happening right now? And you should be monitoring that on a week-to-week basis because the market's fluid. It's changing. There's all kinds of things happening for you to be able to make sure that you're informed to make a decision that's smart to get your property sold or to be able to secure a property. Interestingly enough, the $1 million range here, look, 5.6 month supply, 1 million to 1.9, still pretty healthy, okay? And then look, 800 to a million kind of bloats up a little bit. Okay, some micro data here to be careful of. Like there's a lot more of those properties for sale. 1 to 1.2, it dips, and then 1.2 to 1.4, 14 month supply. Yet we saw days on market still just around a couple of months. Median days on market just a couple of months, yet there's a 14-month supply of homes, 1.2 to 1.4. What's that tell you? People are overpriced. They're not getting their price right. It's not that it takes longer, it's that people either are stubborn, they're not listening to the realtor, or more often the realtor is not explaining in a way that you can understand the risks and consequences, the detriment to overpricing. And so understanding the data is super important. Okay, I want to tie up here because we're going a little long. Now this is the price drops. Again, what was interesting on this page is this number right here. Last month, listings that dropped their price went under contract after a median of 17 days. 17 days. So properties that are overpriced and then they get to a price point where buyers like it, they're still selling within a couple of weeks. So no, I remember I said 30 to 45 days, properties are still selling, okay? And so then you don't get the price right initially, 17 days, you get the price right, you should have an offer within a couple of weeks. There was another piece of data here that was pretty interesting. The days from price drop to under contract. Okay, so there's a price drop and then they go under contract. We can see from January 23rd to January 26th, January 2023 to January 2026. Okay, so we said 17 days right now, and we can see that the numbers move downwards in the spring. April, May, June. Okay, same thing. Summertime, they go down. Summertime, they go down. Okay, that's just a testament to there's a lot more activity happening. But interestingly enough, that again, this stereotype that it takes a long time or it's going to take a long time, you get in the strike zone, you sell. You're not in the strike zone and you get in the strike zone, you sell. But the key indicator is, are they coming through the door? Okay, let's jump into the macro data on like, should you buy or sell right now? Because I went a little long today, but I appreciate you hanging in there. And hey, by the way, if you'd like a free custom clarity report, right? This is like an appraisal report. If you like an appraisal report on your property, even if you're not ready yet and you're not looking to sell your home right now, click the link below and I'll provide a free appraisal report that will give you accurate value, not algorithm or what AI thinks your home's worth. Look, the algorithms are never going to accurately pinpoint your property because they don't know the neighborhoods. They don't know the difference between your property here and this other neighborhood across the street, between the amenities and features and upgrades that you've done compared to the other properties. They're just not going to know that. So click on the link below for your free appraisal report, even if you're not looking to do anything right now, no obligations or strings attached. Okay, so this market, boy, now quickly, last March, it was tariff time. And all that tariff talk brought uncertainty to the market, and everybody clenched up and they got tight, okay? And that kind of ruined the spring market. It wasn't as good as we had hoped it to be. And man, look at us now. March, interest rates started dipping down, 6.1, 6.2, nudged down below 5.9. Everybody got all excited for activity, and we saw it. We saw showings, as there's no way to track showings unless you're a professional listing agent. The professionals in town got excited that showings were up, and then all of a sudden, bam, Iran conflict, interest rates shoot back up to a 4-year high, almost 6.5%, and spring is not looking so fantastic anymore. Now, look, sellers, don't try to time the market, okay? Even professionals, professional stockbrokers and investors can't time the market. We professionals in real estate can't time the market either. You're not gonna see it till we're 6 months out from it in regards to when we hit top, when we hit bottom. But I'll tell you right now, some of this data that we've already seen tells us that we're skidding across the bottom on what's happening with price points. But how much further down are we gonna go? Well, man, I don't like the fact that we're in a conflict, that AI and other factors are causing the unemployment rates to begin to rise. And so oil prices are up. Man, this year, if we hang closer to 402, I'd be surprised. I think that 2026 is going to be another year where we're going to be down. Now, this is 402 for the first couple of months, right? So we have some months here that we're going to see some growth in April and May, regardless, even if it's slower and people are scared, because there's a 6-month supply, right, which is a little bit higher than it's been. And so I think that we're going to see a little bit of a push in the April, May. But if you're trying to get more out of the market right now, look, this is it, right around what we're getting, and a little bit more is what you're going to get right now, but not a ton. And if you're waiting for the market to be 10 or 15% better next year, it's not going to happen. Like we're seeing moderate declines, and I think this year is going to be another moderate decline, median at best, right? Like we hold median and we don't go too far down. So if you're holding to try to time the market, unless you're going to wait another 2 or 3 years, sell now. Get out of the market as fast as you can. Do what you need to do to get the highest price possible. Those are the conversations that we're having with our sellers. A lot of investors, out-of-state investors, people who own multiple homes, people who want to upgrade or update, people who want to downsize, people who have job transfers. Like, I'm having those conversations every single day with people to figure out what do I do? How do I make an informed decision to figure out what's best for me? And that's exactly what we'll do for you. Click on the link below for a consultation that will go over what's happening with your scenario and what data you need to see so that you can make a decision that's best for you. All right, so look, there's a lot of junk on the table as a seller. If you're trying to time the market, don't. Just here it is right here, March, April, May. These are the months right now. Get out while you can, because as we see, the median price point begins to dip again, June, July, August. Look, we're peaking in April, really, April's the month, right? April, May, but like May, still good. June, July, August, we're starting to get shaky a little bit again. And I can see the same thing happening this year. Now, if you're a buyer, anytime's a good time to buy when you're when you're at the bottom. So we're in the bottom somewhere. Are we here? Are we here? Are we here? Are we here? Like, we obviously haven't hit bottom yet because we haven't begun to spring forward, and we're not going to know. We're not going to know that until we're 6 months out. Could this be the year to spring out of the basement? I don't think so. But look, there's amazing, properties that are 400,000 now that were 490,000 3 or 4 years ago. So properties are on sale, and especially for new homes, there's plenty of incentives for buyers, for you out there to be either get a new home or work with a resale who's been on the market a little bit and has been overpriced, and you talk to your realtor and they talk to their realtor and they're pretty motivated, and so they'll contribute towards your closing costs, they'll contribute towards a home warranty, maybe they'll participate in a buy down of your interest rate to nudge the rate downwards. Look, there's all kinds of opportunities out there to buy properties that are on sale and to leverage incentives. Hey, there's a lot going on in the market. That's why I do these videos. Click subscribe, share, and I keep doing these videos to make sure that my clients and people who are in my sphere are able to understand the truth on what's going on. Because if you know the truth, it'll set you free. And Vision Realty Group's about understanding your vision. So it's our mission to help get you what you want in the time frame you want it. Won't that be great?